Sequences are denoted UN or AN or TN. UN is called the n term or the general formula to obtain any term in that sequence. N stands for the number of terms in the sequence. N can start from 1 up to infinite. If the number of terms in the sequence are known, we say the sequence is finite. That is, if N has only 4 terms, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, we say the sequence is finite with 4 terms. Limit of a sequence. The limit of a sequence is the value of UN when n is very large or when n is infinite. That's when the number of terms are infinite. Example, UN is equals to n over n plus 1. Find limit of UN. Lim UN as n turns to infinity is equals to limit n of n plus 1 as n turns to infinity. Just to get the limit of UN, I take the limit of this part. To do this limit, I put infinity in the place of n. I'm going to have infinity over infinity plus 1, which is equals to infinity over infinity. But L'Hopital's rule says that if I want to take a limit of a function and the numerator becomes indeterminate or infinity and the denominator become infinity also, it means I have to differentiate the numerator and I differentiate the denominator. So if I differentiate the numerator, I am going to have 1 over 1. That's taking limit of this is like taking limit of 1 over 1 as n comes large. Limit of 1 over 1 is the same like 1. So it means the limit of this function as n become very large is 1. Monotone sequences. A sequence can be monotone increasing, monotone decreasing, or constant. A sequence UN is said to be monotone increasing if for all n greater than or equals to 1, UN plus 1 is greater than or equals to UN. If the sequence is strictly monotone increasing, UN plus 1 is greater than UN. A sequence UN is monotone decreasing if for all n greater than or equals to 1, UN plus 1 is less than or equals to UN. If the sequence is strictly monotone decreasing, then UN plus 1 is less than UN. A sequence is said to be constant if UN plus 1 is equals to UN. That is, UN plus 1 minus UN is equals to 0. Example, find the monotony of the sequence. UN equals to 1 over n for all n greater than or equals to 1. To find the monotony of a sequence is to determine whether the sequence is monotone increasing, monotone decreasing, or constant. Let's get the values of UN for n equals to 1, 2, 3. When n is 1, UN is 1 over 1, which is equals to 1. When n is 2, UN is 1 over 2. When n is 3, UN is 1 over 3. UN plus 1 is equals to 1 over n plus 1. When n is 1, UN plus 1 is 1 over 1 plus 1, which is equals to 1 on 2. When n is 2, UN plus 1 is 1 over 1 plus 2, which is equals to 1 on 3. When n is 3, UN plus 1 is 1 over 3 plus 1, which is equals to 1 on 4. When n is 1, half is less than 1. That means UN plus 1 is less than UN. When n is 2, 1/3 is less than half. I mean 1/3 is less than half. 1/4 is less than 1/3. UN plus 1 is less than UN. With this we say the function is strictly monotone decreasing. Otherwise, it's strictly monotone increasing.